Back in the day, I played Assassin's Creed when I quite honestly should have been doing homework. I primarily played the games with Ezio in them and spent hours running around and stabbing random goons rather than completing the main story. Ezio is a personal favorite character of mine due to his realistic and genuine feeling development throughout the games that he's in, that cover basically his entire life. He was also a lot of fun to evaluate, because there's a couple of different multi-classes that would make good Ezio Auditore di Firenze's. For example, he could be a rogue barbarian in his debut game. And because of the creed he's a part of, you could tell me Paladin, and I wouldn't even bat an eye, especially if you said Oath of the Watcher or Oath of Vengeance. If you count the Revelations game, you could throw an Artificer, which I will not because that is stupid. The multi-class that made the most sense to me was Rogue Fighter, and here's why. In my Red Hood video, I said he was a barbarian because he was motivated by rage, and I implied revenge. Ezio definitely starts off that way, but he morphs that rage into peace as the story goes on. And while Paladin honestly does make the most sense since he's part of a group that has sworn an oath, we are assassins, we work in the dark to serve the light, and nothing is true, everything is permitted, I wouldn't say he really adopted the assassin lifestyle as much as it adopted him. Ezio's joining of the assassins, as he did, was primarily convenience, as they had a common enemy, and it got to the point where he really didn't know anything else. He even goes so far as to spare a major threat and target of the assassins because he was tired of bloodshed. Now, had he joined it the way he probably would have had his family not been killed, I would definitely say Paladin. But I did eventually decide on Fighter. Considering the above stuff, Fighter's about the only thing left, and Ezio is able to use heavy weapons such as axes and maces, on top of some pretty impressive physical skills. And nobody is going to argue against Rogue, especially with Ezio's stealthy abilities and dexterous parkour skills. He even has the sneak attack ability in these instant kills, as when combat starts, it can be a little harder to kill your enemies as you just wail on them for a minute until they die, versus instantaneous death when they aren't expecting you. And that's why I think Ezio would make a perfect Rogue Fighter multiclass. But please go to the comments and tell me why he'd be a good Paladin or whatever other class he might be, as well as whatever character you want me to do next. Thanks for watching and tune in next time to Out of Initiative.